Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick Loom video about Sonarcloud, which is an analysis tool that I've integrated in the PR that I will link below. Sonarcloud is an analysis tool that we've been using throughout our SDKs, some of our SDKs, and you should see it like as an extra set of eyes for authors and reviewers. And I thought it might be cool to integrate that for our stream video JS monorepo. But what does it mean? What is the power of Sonarcloud and what are we going to use it for? And so we're going to speak about what is it, how can we use it, how can we log in, and we're going to try to speak the Sonar lingo and what it means. And also a bit underneath the hood of how does it run and what's next, and do we have like discussions or things that we need to iterate on. So in a nutshell, Sonarcloud or Sonarcube are two tools from the Sonar family that are basically, I think it's written with Java, and all sorts of codes can be analyzed. Basically, you could host it locally, but also in the cloud. So we're using Sonarcloud. Everything is all of the analysis are being uploaded to the cloud and are working hand in hand with GitHub. So a lot of seamless integration, but also some things that I needed to configure manually. Basically, we strive to write clean code everywhere for everyone. And we sometimes introduce bugs, vulnerabilities, security hotspots, and code smells, which is the lingo that we'll speak about. And Sonar strives to basically filter our code and to make sure that, sort of a sanity check. Okay, is it okay? Is it not okay? And maybe you should think about this, that, and so on and so on. So an extra set of eyes, initial set of eyes before the author reviews his own code, but also for the reviewer of a certain PR. So that's pretty cool analysis tool that I've been using for a while. Yeah, what does it mean, an analysis tool? So this is our page of Stream Video JS with basically the status of the main branch and where we stand. And all of our activities, all of our analysis. So this is how you can get to this page. I'm going to send you the link. We will touch on what it means in a second. But you can also get to this from all PRs. So for example, I have a PR that I've raised, and you probably already saw that. It's integrated nicely in the PR itself. Kudos, Sonarcloud quality gate passed, but what does it mean? So you could see it here for the author and for the reviewer, and see, okay, you pass thumbs up or thumbs down. Make sure that if you want to use it and you don't have access to it, just log in via GitHub and then it should work. But if it doesn't work, let me know and I'll make sure that you have access to it. What is the Sonar lingo? Basically, maintainability, code smells. So code smells are code that is confusing and difficult to maintain. Let's have a look. For example, we have 15 of those throughout our monorepo. Here, update mute state request is already defined. So we defined two things 2 times. Sometimes you have false positives, sometimes it does make sense. Why is this an issue? Then you could read here, hey, it's an issue because yada, 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 and this is how you should do it. So that's pretty cool. We can even become better and see what are the compliant solutions. Another code smell. Let's have a look. Okay, that's an interesting one. Refactor this redundant await on a non-promise. So basically, somebody added here an await when there's not a promise. So that's interesting. I saw it before in the code. It was also an await on a set state. Very interesting. So Sonar basically alerts us that somebody added an await where it's not needed. So that's a code smell. A code smell could be also an unused variable, or a deprecated field, for example. So that's cool. This is an example of an unused variable and explanation of why is it a code smell. So that's about maintainability, about security review, security hotspots. This could vary from, and also the vulnerabilities can vary from, code that can be exploited. So I don't know. Sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't make sense because we're not writing backend code with, I don't know, people could do SQL injections and that kind of stuff. But you'll see it here. So at the moment, we don't have vulnerability, we don't have hotspots. But for example, a hotspot could be, hey, you're using HTTP instead of HTTPS, please consider, and so on and so on. Or, I don't know, a password that has been detected, this kind of stuff. So that about that. And reliability is consisting of bugs. So for example, we have one bug. And the bug is consider using await for the promise inside the try or replace it with promise dot blah blah blah. Yeah, this is how they see things. You can read here more. Why is this an issue? So it's pretty cool. And we will not always gonna agree with what's here. So we're gonna agree together on how we go about that. Then next, duplications. Duplication of code. They're saying, hey, in events and in modules, you have code that is duplicate. And this is the code that is duplicate. Here, it doesn't make sense, or it may be duplicate. It's up to you. But we sometimes discover interesting stuff here. So why is it duplicate here and there? And so we could say, okay, it's a false positive and I can resolve it. And so on and so on. And so on and so on. Code coverage. Basically at the moment we have 32.4% code coverage. So it means that a function is being called in a test. Now we're going to touch a quality gate, means that basically all of those specifications together, so 0 bugs, 0 code smells, and so on, 0 duplications, and together with 80% or above code coverage means that you're getting a thumbs up on a PR on the delta between the new code that you introduce. And at the moment, let's find. So we have here code coverage on new code, and then we could see that we're covering, for example, our state store with 61%. But for example, here we're not covering this part. So maybe we've been calling this function with participants array that is empty, and so on and so on. So most of the time it has to do with try catch blocks, the catch blocks that are not being called, or with if-else statements where we're not hitting all of or switch case statements where we're not hitting all of the lines. So food for thought. So that's cool. Here, for example, we're not hitting it up. Don't follow it blindly. That's also something that I could say about that. That's the lingo of Sonarcloud. So we're running the analysis via CI, our CI/CD, GitHub Actions. And we're doing it after we're testing our packages. When we test our packages, we are generating an lcov.info file that has all of the information that Sonar can use and basically visualize. And we're running the Sonarcloud scan here, and we're exposing some of the tokens. And it's good to know that all of the properties are here in Sonarcloud.properties. Sonar project properties are here, basically, where you should find everything. What should you exclude? For example, tests. You don't want to get coverage of tests files. and you want to exclude, for example, Android, iOS, dist folders, and so on and so on. So that's Sonar in a nutshell. The code coverage that we're striving for is 80% at the moment, and I believe that it's enough for our core business logics, which is the client and maybe the React bindings. But what do you think yourself? I mean, should we follow this blindly? Should we configure it differently? Etc. Are there any other folders that are being analyzed at the moment that need to be excluded? I don't know, maybe in the Angular project, something that we're excluding, that, or React project that I'm not aware of, that we're analyzing, it doesn't make sense. For example, dist folders, build folders, native folders, and so on and so on. Next question is false positives. And what is we need to take everything with a grain of salt, but do you see any false positives? Be aware of them and let everybody know. And last but not least, we started with it. Sonarcloud is not holy. There will be false positive, but use it into your advantage. So use it as an extra set of eyes, as an author and reviewer. And there are pretty cool things there that I didn't show you. So take your time to explore, use it into your advantage. And I wish everybody a good day. And let me know if you have any questions about Sonarcloud or Sonarcube or how we want to use it. And yeah, have a good one.